You're listening to Hot Sauce Sports with Mo Cohen, Peeze and Terry Tam.
I now know that I'm on with the big spy, depending on who's the captain of this ship. That's probably a bad thing if this podcast is supposed to go viral, isn't it?
Cordero Patterson, like grabbing some shanks, gentleman here. And I quote, "I'm a grown man. I don't need nobody blank in my balls, my face."
In my teenage years, I'd get back from high school, I'd smash 2 pizza pockets. Carmelo Anthony never learned you can't live life just smashing pizza pockets.
Because he lost a double bet, what I did is I cut a jalapeno in half, and I filled it with hot sauce. So he's going to have to slurp this down.
Why you give me a fucking banana, dude? I'm not eating a banana. I'll rather piss in my mouth than eat this.
Okay, so there we go. Stop stalling. Let's go.
Now, here are your hosts, Mo, Terry, and Peeze.
Welcome, everyone. You are listening to and perhaps watching Hot Sauce Sports.
I wasn't even ready.
Are you ready now?
Yeah, I'm ready now.
That is my host, Terry Tam. He's now ready.
Yeah.
I'm co-hosting the show with Terry.
Look at
My
this
name
mess.
is Peeze, and that's the weirdest way to say the thing I said. We're one short today, so Eagle's on double duty. How's it going, Eagle?
So, Eagle, you can't play Pokemon today.
Oh. Yeah.
You can't play your freaking esports either.
Also,
Montreal Grizzlies, whatever they're called.
Check it out though. Like
Montreal
the
Rebellion.
good news about you not being able to play Pokemon today is now the last active player is no longer playing Pokemon. So there's that.
Can you hear me?
Those guys were making $1 million off of me
Yeah,
a day.
dude, you have a problem. I know. I lost a lot of money this past weekend, but holy shit! By comparison, but compared to your Pokemon, addiction, it's nothing. It's nothing at all. Cliff Kingsbury, he's dealing with
Hot wife.
yeah, well, hot girlfriend.
Oh, girlfriend.
Technically single. So he's dealing with the sort of electronic addiction differently from all our coaches. He's letting players check their phones every 20 minutes.
What?
Every 20 minutes, he has a phone break during meetings.
What?
It's like a smoke break, but for social networks.
Yo, every 20 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah, because think about it. If you're in a meeting, 20 minutes in, you're like, fuck this. I'm bored.
Let me propose a counterpoint, though, Terry. Well, you've been in a meeting.
I'm
You've been
lost.
in our meetings.
I'm lost.
How long does it take before you take your phone and start checking your shit?
15 seconds.
Exactly. So, 20 minutes, it's already done.
I also, we are far from making millions to do what those players do.
Correct, but they're worth more than us. It's not their fault.
I get it, but it's like, are you going to do the same thing during the game?
No.
I mean, the sideline is the best place to pick up chicks.
The thing about football is that yeah, that too. According to, who said it? Marco. Yeah, it was Marco that said it.
Mhm.
If you're in a meeting, in football, most of the stuff that you prepare for is all done during the week. The
Mhm.
game is the game. Like, you're not preparing during the game.
So in which case, you're not as inclined to check your phone during the game because the game is the game.
Yeah, but it's probably less impactful if you check your phone during your game than it is to check it every 20 fucking minutes.
I mean,
In between meetings, I get say, okay, guys, you get 30 minutes, go cigarette break, whatever you guys want to do. After the meeting, because meetings don't last 8 hours.
well, but so like, here's the thing.
But 20 minutes, man.
But here's the thing. How long is the meeting? Let's say 2 hours.
2 hours. I'd
So-
say they have 3 2-hour meetings and a bunch of run-throughs, and then they have a meeting at the end, like a rundown with the entire team, and then you probably end the day around 8 o'clock.
So you do
16-hour day.
You do a 22-minute little film review, just like watching an episode of Netflix.
Yeah.
Then you
The
take a little
Office.
break for your phone.
Yeah.
And
Watch
you come
watch The Office.
My
you
thing
watch
is-
some more.
Watch the episode of The Office you're watching on the shitter.
I'm okay with I'm okay with the phone break. Just every 20 minutes, it seems like you're not going to get anything done. You won't be productive.
Well, here's the thing. So it depends
Yeah.
because I've was at a conference
yeah.
with an educator who's actually appeared on TED Talks. whose
Was
name
it?
I obviously can't remember. He's a
was
local,
it
local
was
educator.
Was it
Montreal
the
educator.
furry? Was it the furry convention you go to every year?
Yes, actually, it was.
Yeah.
He,
Were you
it was
dressed
hard
up
to
as a bear?
recognize him because he looked like a sexy panda.
The furry
And-
educators.
That's it.
Yo, but
conference.
honestly, I didn't know what to do with my eucalyptus. But so after he took his mask off and I recognized who it was, he was talking about he's a school for special needs, and one of the things he's realized that people have this connection with their phone. If you take their phone away, it's like you're taking away their everything in their life, basically.
Yeah.
Their families, their friends.
It reminds me of another TED Talk that I saw.
And so he actually suggested in the classroom, giving a 5-minute break for every 20 minutes. Now, the coach, in this case, he's in control of how long those meetings are too, right? So, like, you're also not talking for 2 hours straight. You can divide your meeting into 20-minute segments.
But
give a
20
break.
minutes, though, I feel like you don't get... And
So
especially...
that's the thing is you get 6 breaks. So you get 6 of these breaks.
Yeah.
So in the end, like, they can just tack on 20 minutes to the meeting, and it's the same content covered in the meeting.
Yeah, I guess, but it breaks it up, and you get no momentum.
Maybe some of the meetings he's summarized into emails, and therefore you don't have to do the meeting.
So you think these guys are reading their emails?
No.
Exactly.
I mean,
But it's on their
Jamarcus Russell
phones.
famously was not even...
Yeah, exactly.
Not even...
So I
film.
just think it's a recipe for disaster, and it's going to end real fast.
Maybe that's what he's doing. Maybe he's emailing them the bullet points he's not covering in the
Nah,
meeting.
because this is
so
what
they
happens,
read
and
it on the phone break.
That's a good point. But this is what happens. You know you have a break in 2 minutes. Okay? Let's say in 5 minutes.
Mhm.
You're not thinking about what the person up there is saying. You're waiting for that
Well,
5 minutes
it's
for your
not
phone.
like clockwork. Like there's literally like 1958, 1959. Okay,
Exactly.
break, right?
But he doesn't know, right? So it's like, okay, so you're looking at your watch. You're like, oh, okay, it's already been 15 minutes. It means I should be getting one in the next 5 minutes. And then that 5 minutes hits, and he's still talking. And you're like, okay, end this fucking meeting. It's a recipe for disaster.
So...
And forget about the Cardinals. They're not going to make the playoffs just because of that.
Just because of that?
Yeah.
Not because of Rosen.
Well, because they have Josh Rosen, and if they draft Kyler Murray, they have 2 guys that suck.
They have a shortstop and a quarterback who can't play.
And a guy who makes racist tweets.
Chris Bosh officially retired, has number retired. The first of the big
Well
3 to
deserved.
have his number retired.
Well, because he's the first one to retire.
Yes. Surprising. If you would ask me
He was
that,
forced to retire.
if you would ask me that 4 or 5 years ago when his blood clot situation first happened,
Yeah.
I never heard of someone retiring for blood clots.
His
They're
was
very serious though, and it's life or death. Like for
He tried to make a comeback, but it didn't work.
well, because nobody would take that chance.
Yeah.
I heard Stan Van Gundy talk about it this week, and he said that essentially it's not risking a guy whose knee is messed up because whatever. After 16 games, Andrew Bynum is terrible again. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. It's
but
his health, right? He can die.
he could die. And it's not about liability. It's just nobody wants that responsibility.
That's it, exactly.
And especially the Heat organization being as loyal to as they are to players and stuff. It was cool to see that they gave him such a nice tribute.
I think they had already planned to retire all 3 of their numbers,
yeah,
plus Ray Allen, plus...
they have Michael Jordan's
Shaq.
number retired.
For real?
Yeah,
No, I think the league does.
no.
Oh, that's not true, yeah. That's not
and
true
they
at all.
have Dan Marino's number retired.
What?
The Heat are a strange organization.
So they retired Michael Jordan's number.
Yeah,
That's why LeBron couldn't wear it?
I guess
He
so.
wore 6?
Oh my God, that makes sense. I didn't think about that. Now you know.
That's so dumb. Why would you retire a number of somebody that never played your sport? or never
Sport is
played
the
your
big one.
team?
Yeah, they should retire.
Maybe Miami sports in general retired Dan Marino's number because he never won a championship. They're like, here, this is what we'll do for you. Nobody in Miami is ever allowed to wear 13 and get paid for it.
or allowed in general.
In
period.
general, yeah. Even
Just
like
erase your memory from.
you were like minor league kids. Like, I want to wear 13. I'll fuck yourself, okay? There was a guy 30 years ago that threw the ball very well, and he wore that number, and you can't wear it. So
Yeah.
go cry to your mom.
Are you as good as Dan Marino?
No,
Well, then
fuck you.
yourself. And with that, it is time for the news. Look at that, Eagle. You were ready this time.
Almost like if you give me queue up time, I can get it.
I did that every week. Every week I did that. And now the news.
I don't hear one.
Terry, man, it's been a crazy week.
I don't even know which headphones are mine.
You okay?
I gotta find my headphone.
It's the fucking third one. On the goddamn board. There. That
This
one.
here?
Yeah.
So can we restart the news?
No, let's do it. Let's do it.
All right. The story we've been following the closestly. The
Closestly?
story we've been following closestly is, of course, none other than retired baseball player Alex Rodriguez. Man, baseball's only interesting after players are done, right? Like,
Yeah.
because we love talking to Jose Canseco and Alex Rodriguez on the show more than anything else in the world.
Especially Jose Canseco.
And the fact that both of them are tied in together is kind of amazing. He's been accused of infidelity once again. This time from an unlikely source.
Did you get that picture I put? It's a perfect picture.
Yeah, it really is.
It's J-Lo kissing him while he's texting. So he's sexting Playboy models. I mean, are you surprised?
I mean, so here's the thing.
The guy's probably got a fat piece on him.
Yeah,
Yeah, like probably it looks like this.
Was it him or Jeter had the reputation of
Jeter.
like waking up in the morning, walking away, and having a nice little like goodbye package?
That was
ready?
Derek
Yeah, it was a
Jeter.
basket. He would
Ma-
send them. He would send them home in a limo, and in the limo they have a basket with like goodies and stuff, with a signed baseball and everything.
Maybe Jeter learned from A-Rod.
No, but Jeter was notoriously a bachelor. He
Yeah.
wasn't. He never cheated on anybody because he was never associated with anybody. He just fucking ran through New York City like a fucking boss.
And because of that, we didn't even
pure
notice that he got
stick,
bald.
man.
By the way, did you notice that?
No, because he
Like I
always wore
noticed
hats.
like 10 minutes ago that he's bald.
Baseball players you don't notice until they retire because they always wear hats.
That's true. That's fair. It's a good look.
Yeah,
It's a good look.
that's why I'm wearing a hat all the time.
Quote
So
of the year by Terry
do
Tab.
you have the Playboy model's name, by the way?
Oh, I wish.
So yeah, I'm convinced. I'm convinced he's got like a
And first
like
of
a
all,
can, like just
no, it's like this. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, this is how I've imagined his dick.
so. But like,
But J-Lo's hot, man. What are you doing?
I guess, but
She's like the hottest woman in the world.
yeah,
She's up there.
up there.
She's like wine, man. She doesn't go bad. She gets better with age.
I mean,
Wine can go bad, can it?
yeah. So so it can,
But it's getting better with
given
age.
light and oxidization.
That's
so
it, so.
what you're saying is they
She's
keep get J-Lo away from light and oxygen, and that's why she looks as
Zoe
good.
Gregory.
Zoe Gregory. Zoe Gregory.
Keep her away from light and oxygen.
So, but like,
Stay indoors.
the other thing about this is we keep doubting Jose Canseco, right? Everyone keeps doubting him.
I
Like,
can imagine. I'm just imagining, like her publicist saying, "Listen,
here's the thing.
you can't breathe oxygen.
Yeah.
and you gotta stay away from light. So I'm gonna die.
No.
No.
Find this way that your body converts CO2 into oxygen. It removes the carbon and the extra oxygen.
So there's something with your ass.
Yeah.
Okay, that it just absorbs oxygen, but it's
Through
not. You're not
osmosis.
taking it in. Through osmosis.
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 What the fuck? I love J-Lo.
Yeah. So that's the thing is we keep doubting A-Rod. We keep doubting Jose Canseco.
Yeah, but this guy's
Yeah,
fucked up.
he comes up with this crazy story about steroids. It turns out it's true, and it's as greasy as you would imagine. New story about everything that happened. Actually, the movie Screwball, I believe, is out today,
Yeah, it's out on Netflix.
Yeah.
The Billy
Oh.
Corbin movie. Yeah,
which is interesting because it's opening day tomorrow.
and it's also you know what it's about. You know what it's about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But they also use kids to play the actors. So
Really?
it's a bunch of kids playing Alex Rodriguez, and
That's awesome.
yeah.
That's
So I
awesome.
can't wait to see it because
But
of that.
it's everything about it is the most Miami. It's
Of course,
the
yeah.
most drugs, the most
Yeah.
steroids, and Jose Canseco depicted this story, and yet we didn't believe it. And now we're like, A-Rod, this guy who was getting greasy ass shots in his butt
at
from
the nightclub.
at a nightclub from some coke dealer. He can't be cheating with a porn
Nah,
star, Jose
impossible.
Canseco's sister. Turns out
Impossible.
he may have.
Is that on screen?
No. Because I don't think YouTube will like this very much.
Probably not.
That's allowed. You're allowed that.
We get your
Oh,
ugly
sorry,
faces
sorry.
instead.
Then again, look, it's a different time, and we need to consider the time that we're in.
Yeah.
And for example, Conor McGregor tried to retire, live a quiet life, and then was quickly pulled back
Quiet life.
into the year of 2019, where hey man, you need to be accountable for past actions.
So people think that he retired because of he knew this stuff was going to come out. I think this stuff was old news and it's just coming out now.
Mhm.
And
that's
I also think that
that's typical
until
with
we
these
know what
cases, though.
happened, until we know exactly what happened,
Yeah.
whatever.
So just to summarize exactly what's known right now.
What's known is that there was a woman in Ireland that he has supposedly had an affair with that is accusing him of sexual assault.
And he is fully cooperating with the investigation.
So fully, 100%.
Okay.
So
I don't think I think it's a money grab. And the fact that he's retiring, he
Here's the
decided
thing.
to
Here's
do
the
it
thing.
now to make it
So
seem like it was worse.
Is there anything in the story, though, in terms of the facts that have come out that makes you think, like, yeah, that sounds like it could have
Yeah, but
happened,
here's
and just
the-
maybe it's being blown out of proportion?
But here's,
Yeah.
here's the flaw is of three guys in a room discussing a situation that usually only affects women.
We all have vaginas.
Nope, that's not where I was going
That's
at all.
the problem.
You need to re-examine yourself. I mean, you might. It's 2019. I can't define
you
it.
never
I can't
know
define
anymore.
it.
I can't.
Terry and I, though, big old dicks. Big old Alex Rodriguez hogs. But the thing is that when discussing something like this, I agree with Terry that we can't, we don't know the facts. We may never know the facts, but let's also not react until more information becomes public.
That's it.
I also don't
So
want to
far,
say
it's also been like 3 days and nothing else has come out.
yeah. But that's also typical. So where you tend to hear facts come out is from old cases that are being reevaluated because the initial case was part of public record.
I think he's also a very easy target.
Yeah.
Like a very easy target.
I don't want to. I don't want to accuse a potential victim yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Until more information comes out.
Of course. Yeah.
If it turns out she's lying, absolutely.
Absolutely.
She deserves all the vitriol that goes towards her. And if he turns out to be guilty, then he's as big a douchebag as everyone thinks.
As we all think he was.
Yeah.
They think he is. The reason why I say it's a cash grab is because this supposedly happened like years ago, and now it's coming out.
But that's typical because
of course, which I
lack
get.
of empowerment and slowly
also,
growing motion of
and
empowerment
also
and
the
so on.
fact that he's like fully cooperating and just everything that I read on it, I just feel like it just looks too much like other cash grabs.
Yeah,
that's all it is. That's all.
Could be,
but it could be that he fucked up. He's also a very cocky person that thinks he's untouchable. So it could be that he did something stupid, a la Ben Roethlisberger, and that's it. And this is what we're dealing with.
Ben Rapensberger.
Ben Rapensberger.
Now, what's interesting though is he's talking about he's gonna be fully cooperative a week after he smashes the dude's phone in Miami. So maybe the reason he's cooperative is she had proof, but then he smashed her phone. So we all know. What's the legacy Conor McGregor leaves behind in UFC, Terry?
His legacy is he should never fight again. If
Like
he
it
fights
only
again,
gets worse, right?
It's not. If he fights again and loses, you kind of lose that that aura that he had around him, right?
Mm-hmm.
That he shouldn't fight again. Shouldn't ever fight again.
Well, we've been like off air. We've all been saying he's a loss away, and UFC is trying to extend that time as long as possible because it's going to happen.
Well, Dana White's actually come out and said, "I'm happy he retired because he doesn't need to fight anymore." And you should never. And Dana White, he gets a lot of hate, but he's also one of the guys that protects his fighters a lot. He protects his fighters. He'll say like he shouldn't fight ever again. Chuck Liddell is one of his best friends. He didn't sign him to fight. Chuck Liddell ended up signing with fucking Bellator to fight Tito Ortiz like a few months ago, and Chuck Liddell and Dana White refused. He could have made $1 million easy on it, you know, and he refused because he knows the damage these guys take, and they shouldn't take more. They shouldn't be taking more damage than they should.
Well, I don't think Conor McGregor was like. I mean, look, there's damage every fight. I don't think he's in like a type of shape where it would cause necessarily more damage than has already been done.
He might get a flying heel kick.
Yeah, no, of course, that can always happen. But I'm saying
anything can happen.
I'm saying I think just with him, was he the fighter he was initially billed as?
Yeah, 100%. I just think that he
deterioration. You think?
No, it's not deterioration. I think it's just focus. It wasn't his main focus anymore. His main focus was the show, the money, all that stuff. And we saw, and every fight that he's lost has been on the ground, and it's pretty much where his weak spot is, and people found it. That's it.
WWE,
one of the best strikers. No, never.
Question mark?
He wouldn't do it.
I have another suggestion.
He's also one of the best strikers in the history of the UFC. Like accuracy wise, if you look at his numbers, he's probably one of the best strikers in UFC history.
So Juventus? No. So I have
he's actually a good soccer player too.
I have a suggestion for what Conor McGregor should do, but I'll only unveil it later in the show.
He's got a piece on him too.
Yeah, I mean all these guys. Let's face it.
No, we saw it when he was against McGregor. He kind of had like a semi.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
there you go.
You don't know it? You go pull it up.
Yeah, but maybe it's the old Axl Rose potato in the pants.
Type in Conor McGregor boner. You'll find it. What? Yeah. It's him in his underwear.
In fact, put that on the screen if you can, Eagle.
Yeah, and he has a semi. I want to see this.
Are you sure YouTube's
Yeah,
gonna
right
want
there
this?
on the left, the top left.
This one?
Yeah. See, look at this. He's got a semi on him. Yeah, YouTube will allow this. Why wouldn't they allow this?
One way to find out.
It's a Google image. Google owns YouTube.
I love how we're putting this image and not the one of the Playboy model.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, baby. Now make it so the dick looks like it's going directly into Pease's mouth.
Right here.
So yeah, he's packing some heat on him.
Yeah.
Some good Irish meat.
The NFL owners and coaches
Yeah.
under some heat because they've
Oh, beautiful. Fuck, you nailed it, man, in like 5 seconds.
thanks, man. I appreciate it. So the NFL
Just
coaches met.
Turn around and do this. I took it off. You took it off.
The NFL coaches met. Some new rule changes
Yeah.
proposed. Well, no, actually, pass interference to be reviewable. Coaches voted 32-0.
Yeah, to put it on the table.
Mhm.
So it doesn't mean that it's gonna pass yet. That means
But I mean, if it's
it
not
likely
unanimous,
is,
it
yeah.
likely will pass.
So the competition committee is gonna have to look at it now. So now they have to look at it because of the amount of votes. Sean Taylor was the Sean Payton. I'm fucking.
Yeah,
Sean
Sean
Payton.
Payton. Sean Taylor. It would be difficult for him to be at the meeting. He was never a coach, and he sadly passed away years
Sadly
ago.
passed away. Great safety.
Yeah.
So Sean Payton was the one that spearheaded this, obviously because of what happened in the NFC Championship game last year.
Did you say steer-headed? Spearheaded. So spears have a head.
So
Steers,
steers, you know, the
Cows
steers.
also have heads.
Yeah,
though,
so you
it
can
could be
steer-headed. Yeah.
From now on, Eagle, this show steer-headed.
Yeah. Next episode, we're calling it Steer-headed Spice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Remember it for next week.
Not Spearheaded Spice. Steer-headed Stice.
Stice. It's just getting worse.
Yeah. So at the end of
What are your thoughts about making pass interference reviewable?
I mean, copy the CFL. Do it.
Yeah, and I believe NCAA instituted it as well.
I have no idea, but yes, I would not be surprised.
But
But you should be able to review a non-call.
well, here's the thing. So the game the game happens quickly. They don't, the refs on the field don't have the ability to see it from all the angles that we have. Don't have the angle we have, by
Well,
the
they-
way,
yeah.
because we have the best angle, and
Essentially, it's true.
all like from a raised angle.
It's true because what they can see is, you know, a body gets in the way. You don't know when the ball falls. You know, like there's a lot of things that could happen. But
These guys are quick. These guys
Yeah.
are changing position, moving quickly, right?
and
So
the referees are not.
yes, they're all ancient.
Ancient.
So put another old guy in the booth next to Tony Romo, where Tony Romo can tell him in advance it will be pass interference,
That's it.
and they can challenge it. I don't think it'll slow down the game much. I think it's a good idea. In fact, I think we're getting to a point where we might. What's the point of having referees on the field?
No, you still need them on the field
For what?
to control situations because they control a
Yeah,
lot.
all of these giant monsters.
No, but they do though. They do. Even in hockey, you need a good ref that commands the ice, that commands the game. You need it, man.
Robots.
How many people are in a crew right now? 7?
7, yeah. 7 plus 8. The 8th is the official reviewer.
So if you were to change that to 3,
No, not enough. There's too much shit that goes on.
But you
So
have the other two in
you have the one
other
that stands
two-
behind the quarterback that watches the quarterback.
But you can
That
do
one-
that from upstairs.
But you have to call it live as it happens, right?
You can call it live. As it
But there's
happens.
also plays where they won't call a penalty based on the outcome of the play.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So it's all. I feel like you have to have that human side. You can't leave it to a VAR system. You can't.
Oh no, but I'm saying just you have the referees in the booth
But why in the booth? Why not on the field?
because they have better vantage point.
So-
They can slow things
So
down.
you're
they
gonna leave 24 fucking madmen,
can, yeah, it's
22
awesome.
madmen on the field with
Yeah.
no security.
Well, everyone's been saying, "Oh, the NFL's soft these days." That's one way to make it unsoft.
So you're gonna leave 22 guys on the field with no repercussions if they do something.
I like how you're like 24 because 2 extra guys are gonna run on.
No, 24 guys is the CFL.
think how much money you
So
can
I
save,
think-
though. Instead of having to pay refs 6 figures, you just hire a bunch of security guards or ex-NFL players.
Ex-NFL players, that's a good one. No, so I think it's a good rule. You should be able to call non-calls, not challenge if it was a call.
Kickoff rule remains 38% drop in concussions.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's working, right? So
I like it.
I'm not a fan of the rule as it is, but I am a fan of people's lives being improved.
So 38% drop in concussions.
It's worth
Also,
it. It's
100
worth me losing 5 plays a game.
That's it. 100% drop in touchdowns.
Yeah. Well, and so are we getting close to the point where kickoffs will be removed from the game?
I think so. I think that a kickoff at this point, if you're starting it at the 35, these guys are placing it pretty well. It's kind of useless at this point. You're not getting a lot of returns.
No more blindside blocks.
You should have the option. How about that?
No more blindside blocks on punts.
Yeah. So those peel backs and things like that,
Mhm.
they're able to do. They're taking it away. They said there's a lot of concussions that happen that way. So that's something that they want to take away. We'll see if it happens. I think that's the one rule that's going to pass for sure.
What does Sandra Bullock think about no more blindside blocks? Though?
Sandra Bullock is hot on the blind side, so she likes it.
Nice. Sandra Bullock always looking out for the man.
So
Gotta say.
Yeah, I like Sandra Bullock. People used to say I look like her. My dad used to coach like a semi-pro soccer team,
Mhm.
like a senior team when we were younger, and all
The Montreal Olds.
I don't remember what they were called. They were called the Montreal something. I
The
forgot. what it
Montreal
was.
Senility.
Anyway, so
The Montreal forgot my address.
So my brother and I used to take the bus with them to go like on their road
Oh,
trips.
So I
And-
misinterpreted what you meant by senior. Sorry. Go ahead. Finish your story.
Senior league. So they're like these guys are like 23 years old. at
Yeah,
this
in my
point.
mind, they're
23
65
to
years
35,
old.
like 23 to 30, 35.
It's like a way to
Good
keep,
soccer players.
A way to keep the people with Alzheimer's busy.
Yeah. So we used to take the bus with them, and some of them used to call me Sandra Bullock.
Okay.
They said I look like Sandra Bullock.
But speed, Sandra Bullock, because you're on the bus.
Maybe that's the reason. They said I look like Cookie Monster too, so it's weird. Maybe
So,
because I was fat as a kid.
so if Cookie Monster
I mean,
smashed
not that I'm thin
Sandra
now.
Bullock, you get a Terry.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Cookie Monster and Sandra Bullock have sex. Terry time comes on. You gotta tell Duke.
Heard it here first.
He's gonna make a graphic.
Oh, he almost as big this week. Duke's not here for those just tuning in. Although we're not a live show, so
If
you're
only
not
he
just
had a
tuning
brother that could have went to go to the airport like I did.
in. Yeah.
It's funny how we both had some. We should have just figured it out.
Just guys,
Dude,
both of
pick
you
up-
split an Uber. You
That's it,
both you don't live that far from each other.
Pick up my mom at the same time.
How are you recovering from your hangover? The March Madness hangover.
I am recovering. I love watching it because now that I don't have a job, I love watching it, man. I sit there and I just sit in front of the TV and I just watch. It's fucking. I love it, man. And I missed it the last couple of days. I need it back tomorrow.
I watched too much basketball. Like so, I love.
You're a basketball guy.
I have the same feeling after week 1 of the NFL season.
Mm-hmm.
That day is great. That Sunday is great.
Yeah, I love it.
That Monday morning, I want to remove my skin because of how disgusting I am. How disgusted I am with myself.
Remove my skin.
How long did your bracket last?
I'm still alive. I'm like 20 points ahead behind first place. I got Oregon a lot, so that's why I made a lot of points. I had Oregon going deep.
But like the perfect bracket. How long did your perfect bracket last?
My perfect bracket lasted as long as who was my first loss? I want to say
I had Baylor, so that sucked.
I didn't have Baylor. Who was my first fucking loss? I forgot.
My first loss, and I should have known. This is a dumb pick. I picked Louisville. So the first game was my first loss, as well as 77% of the nation. That's kind of awesome. But Rick Pitino coming back, it's awesome though. Like the guy has 3 seconds worth of sex, loses his career because couldn't do it for longer than 3 seconds, has inappropriate relations, has ruined the restaurant bar table because everyone who goes there now knows it's got Rick Pitino stains all over it. But he somehow gets his revenge.
You have a weird disdain for
The stain.
basketball coaches.
I mean, do you want to get into it?
Oh, Marquette. Marquette was the one.
Marquette, okay.
Yeah. Fuck you, man. I had them going deep too.
I had Marquette too.
I had like going to the
I
Sweet
actually,
16.
but I had thought I thought I chose against them actually, and I was very surprised to
But
look.
they lost to Murray State.
I was screaming Murray in my office because I thought I had picked them. I was positive.
Yeah.
I was wrong.
Yeah.
I was very wrong.
Fuck it.
So my issue is I have an issue with college coaches.
Okay, what's the issue?
My issue is
That they get paid too much?
these guys who earn millions and demand discipline of their players who earn no money. And like the players, if they do a fraction of what these coaches do, are chastised, are ripped apart. These are kids being ripped apart by the media, being ripped apart by idiots like us. And then these coaches are treated like gods and paid millions of dollars on the backs of free labor.
Free labor. No, but you know what? They play a big role in these kids' lives. I think that if you talk about, like, I forgot what school it was, but as they were leaving, they had a press conference. It was the coach and the rest of the players. I think it was the Murray State team actually. They walked by and they kind of had like a joke where they would slap the coach on the forehead. Like these coaches, they play like a fatherly role to these kids that, you know, like don't have a lot of guidance. You know what I mean? So some kids, they go to university, they don't know what it's like. So these coaches play a huge role in their development. But are they getting rich on the back of free labor? Sure. I don't think that any coach deserves to make $12 million.
Well, here's the thing. What if 10% of the coach's salary that you're going to pay the coach gets reassigned to paying the players? I don't think it's a ridiculous concept.
Yeah, but the thing is that then kids are going to go based on the coach's salary. So they're going to, if I have an offer from Michigan State.
Oh, what you're saying is they don't already select schools based on the better facilities and the better coach and the better chance to
Of
make
course they
NBA.
do, yeah.
So they're already doing that. Let's
Sure.
drop amateurism. It's not amateurism.
I guess.
How much, Eagle, find out how much CBS paid for the Final Four and then tell me why these players can't be paid.
You and I are on the same page when it comes to that shit. I'm just saying is that you can't pay the players out of the coach's pocket. You should just pay the
take
players.
1% of the coach's salaries combined.
Combined, okay. there
And
you
then
go.
make a pool and divide it amongst all Division 1 and 2 schools.
Perfect. Why not just 10%? Make it 10%.
They
Any amount.
They have a 14-year, $10.8 billion deal with CBS.
$10.8 billion. But you know
and
what?
then they extended it until 2032 for another $8.8
But
billion.
then we hear, oh, but that money raises money for the swim team. All right, cool. Yeah, you need $10 billion for the swim teams. Relax.
It pays for other scholarships.
Yes, which is fine.
Cool.
Which should continue to.
Absolutely.
Also take part of it.
Yeah.
Keep less of it.
Yeah.
Give it to the ones who are making the money for
Because
you.
yeah, what will happen is that let's say you have a very good football program, you start getting money, it's good, you start putting money into basketball. All of a sudden you have a good basketball program. Then from there you put money into soccer. Then you have a good soccer program.
Do you guys see the? I think it was a little video that the NCAA built to be like, oh, the day in the life of an athlete, and like sleeping, waking up, doing your workout, and everything, and a whole bunch of like former NCAA players, regardless of sport, be it football, baseball, anything. They're all like, no, that's totally nowhere close to what our life was. Like it was living hell being a student athlete.
For sure, man.
Yeah.
They have no money.
It's tough. It's really tough.
They have no money. You can't go out for dinner. You got to rely on the buffet at the gym. You got to get fucking like pretty much food stamps. You get passes to get free meals at the cafeteria.
Like for every Reggie Bush, there's a bunch of players who aren't having houses and cars bought for them and their family.
That's it.
So, the thing is,
It's unfortunate because we love to watch.
Yeah,
and you see the amount of money that goes into.
the
a
worst
March
part
Madness.
is,
Yeah.
here's where I'm a giant hypocrite.
You
I
watch,
still watch.
Yeah,
I can't
100%.
help myself.
of course, yeah.
The way Eagle's addicted to Pokemon, which is a loser.
Scary.
I'm addicted to sports, and I love March Madness. To me, is along with the Masters the two best sporting events of the year.
I'm probably gonna miss the Masters.
No, we have a thing. We have a
I
watch
know,
party.
I know. I mean, we'll see what happens in football
All right.
because it's the finals. It's the day of the finals.
Oh, you won't. Oh, does that mean I'm working?
Yeah.
I forget every year.
Fucking Rob.
I'm doing play-by-play.
I'll probably be joining you in the booth.
We'll stream it.
Let's just do both. Let's just get hammered and do it.
Yeah.
Like Eagle would love that, but no, Eagle
So
would not.
whatever. Let's do a Friday Night Masters recap. Live watch party,
I'm
not live watch party.
I'm 100%. I'm down. I'm down.
Duke continues to impress. I was watching. I couldn't watch
I wouldn't say impress.
I couldn't watch. Well,
Press.
the first game.
They press.
I was watching the first game highlights because actually I couldn't watch the Duke game.
Oh, when they had one camera on Zion the
Yeah,
entire time.
which by the way, we could put a camera on Zion, but we can't put money in his wallet.
oh no, he's getting plenty of money. That guy.
No, yes.
Plenty of money.
Coach K puts the K in green. But I missed the game, but so I watched the highlights, and I swear I was watching it with my fiance, and every time Zion dunked on the guy like he was a child, I couldn't stop laughing. Like it's as if Shaq worked out.
But he couldn't dunk on Taco.
No, because Taco is a giant.
Taco is one of the 40 tallest
He
people
still
in the
put
world.
up 30 points, is that?
32 points.
32
yeah.
points, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
And people were saying, "Oh, he didn't dunk on Taco."
No, but he all of a sudden became a 3-point shooter, by the way. In that game, became a 3-point
never
shooter.
shot a three before.
Jesus. Honestly, I'm impressed with him. I'm impressed with, of course, the 3 stars. Cameron's really showing in this tournament. But, there is, when you have 3 stars like that, there's depth issues, right?
But now, did UCF just expose them?
Because every other team has 7'6" forwards.
No, but just to say, have they exposed them?
I don't think so. I think it's difficult. UCF was a bad matchup for them coming in.
Are you still confident that Duke is like the
Yes.
favorite to win?
Yes.
They've been ranked. The
Yes.
power rankings came out today, so they've been ranked number 1.
Next year they will have 3 NBA players,
Top 5.
top 5.
Yeah. Top 5.
Maybe top 8 according to the most recent consensus.
We'll say top 10 just to be friendly.
top 8, but yeah.
Yeah. But just to say, 3 of the best players in the world.
Yeah. I like Ja Morant. I thought Murray State was going to go on this run, and that was
He was gonna be the
Cinderella
guy,
story. He's good, man. He's
Yeah.
good. Honestly, I'm not surprised because again, NFL, NBA owners get involved this time of year, and they get their GMs to draft whoever they want, and so this is where you see guys who have great tournaments. You see their stock rise. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes second overall.
Yeah. He's
that.
already ranked first round, right? He pretty much after
Yeah,
that
he's
game.
going to be top 5, but I'm
Yeah.
thinking he's number 2 at this point.
Yeah, I think so too. After that game especially.
What's your favorite Cinderella story?
My favorite Cinderella story right now is Oregon. I love Oregon.
Until tomorrow.
They're gonna win.
All right.
I'm telling you.
All right.
I like that guy Wooten.
Wooten,
Yeah, he's fucking nasty. And the other guy too, number 2, I think. He's number 14. The other guy, I forgot his name.
So you think they win tomorrow? Again, well, wait. We won't do that yet. We're gonna get our
hypotheticals.
hot takes, our news in advance, our headlines in advance.
Tomorrow's
later
news
today.
Today.
Tomorrow's news today. But before then, We have a few more things to get into. Oh man, I missed. Okay, sorry, my mistake. Quickly, baseball started again, second time.
Always starts.
Ichiro retires when no one's watching. Chris Bosh, by the way, instead an hour-long tribute. Everyone's seen it, even if you weren't at the game. You saw the tribute.
I love it, man.
Great tribute video.
He's such an awkward human being. It's crazy.
But now baseball starts again. The Red Sox are ESPN's #1 ranked team. Do you expect them to continue the success they had last year? Of course, 108 wins would be ridiculous.
I think that they're going to have a big problem playing against the Yankees this year. I think the Yankees, to me, are the best team in the AL. The Red Sox, I mean, you can't not assume they're going to be in the same position they were last year because it's pretty much the same team. Plus, who did they add? They added somebody.
Offhand, and not
I
sure.
can't think. But the Yankees, to me, are the.
But I mean,
one
they
team to
didn't
look
need
for.
the ton.
They didn't need to.
This I've actually heard arguments about this being the best Red Sox team in the history of the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah, I can agree. Like Mookie Betts is unbelievable.
Yeah.
He's best player in the league, I think.
I mean, it's up there.
Why not? Yeah,
Splitting hairs basically between him and Mike Trout and.
But it's the Yankees. I think the Yankees are the team that's going to scare. They're going to scare a lot of people this year. That pitching staff is unreal.
And I don't think the Astros are a lot worse than they have been.
No, they're pretty much the same roster that was there when they won.
Is there a team you see coming out? Because every year there's a team that kind of sort of comes out of the woodworks and surprises the way the Astros did that first time around.
Yeah, I think it's a team like maybe Milwaukee. I
was going to say Seattle 2-0 regular season.
Yeah, already they're starting.
They're 2 games ahead of everyone because baseball.
I think Milwaukee's a team to look out for. Honestly, that's it, man. For me, Milwaukee, maybe the Mets. They could. I'm only saying that as a Mets fan. They could. I mean, they have the pitching. They just signed what's his name? They just signed Jacob deGrom to an extension. They have the pitching. They just need to get the runs in. You know, like last year was a fucked up year. They have a lot of young guys coming up, so maybe them. The Cubs, you can't knock the Cubs either. There's a few teams, but to me, it's between the Yankees and the Red Sox this year, and it's old school baseball.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
like we're back in the 90s.
Yeah, well, it's cyclical, right? It's like they spend a bunch of money and then
They wait.
The farm system's depleted, and then they rebuild the farm system, and because they're not only
Rebuild the
richer than
farm
you,
system, yeah.
they're better at you than because that's what the Yankees have done. That's how they've made all these trades. Is they've accumulated wealth in their farm system and then traded it for pieces like Giancarlo Stanton.
That's it, yeah.
So with that, that's been the news. We're gonna come back with rapid fire special segment for NCAA basketball.
And you can subscribe. Yeah, you can always subscribe.
They get the shows, then they choose to listen to it or
subscribe
not.
on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and then follow us at Hot Sauce Sports on every social media.
No one, you can't be oversubscribed because that's not a word.
Exactly. So
So-
subscribe just the right amount of time.
Be a word. Well, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he knows something.
Yeah. Well, we're about to find out tomorrow.
If he doesn't, we'll be like, oh, he's like, I don't watch any March Madness. We're like, right? So what's going on, buddy?
Yeah.
I love it. Fuck.
It'll be interesting for sure. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna go into our rapid fire like we always do.
Yeah.
And then we have a segment called Tomorrow's Headlines
Today.
Today, which I'll explain later in the show.
Don't explain anything. We'll just do it.
All right.
All right, rapid fire. First, we're going to start off with Met expectations. Jacob deGrom gets a huge contract, 5 years, $137 million.
We're both Mets fans. I feel like we're both reacting to this differently. How are you reacting to this?
I like it.
I don't like it.
Why?
You don't pay a power arm in baseball.
Oh, okay.
You use a power arm and then you get rid of the
I
power
like
arm.
it because he doesn't.
I like Jacob deGrom, by the way.
Yeah, because he's the best pitcher on the team.
Mhm.
That's why I like it.
Yeah, he's
You-
gonna
you
be
can't
Matt
lose him.
He's gonna be a more attractive Matt Harvey.
No, he's not going to be Matt Harvey.
His arm's gonna fall apart, man.
You think so?
I think so. We're past
Since when are you a Mets fan?
always since the Expos moved away.
Yeah, same here.
So all of us.
Oh, nice. Well, if the Expos come back, you jump in.
Gone. Yeah, I'm back to the Expos.
Yeah, same.
Just because season tickets.
I'll probably buy some.
All right,
We'll get a hot
next,
sauce booth.
next topic, tough break. Yusuf Nurkic takes a nasty tumble.
DeMo has a step, drives in on Carroll. Power drive, no. Followed by Nurk, no. Nurk knocked to the floor and a foul.
Oh, my God.
You know what? I feel bad for these guys.
And
for two
Nurkic
reasons.
is in
One,
pain.
he just fucking broke his leg.
That's
Two.
the first reason.
And Nurk
Yeah,
is
two.
down.
All his teammates ran away from him.
And the left leg.
No, but like, go help the guy, man. He's your fucking teammate.
The left
I mean, I had a
buckled
situation
and
this
Nurk
week
is
where
down,
there was an
and
injury
he
in a
is
flag
in
football game.
considerable pain.
And I ran away.
a
because the guy
serious
lost all his
injury.
teeth. So I can.
Jeff Clark will come to
by
attend.
himself for like 15 seconds.
Just give him room, bro. Give him room.
And Jesse Ellis from the training
Go look at him
staff
and
is
calm
there
him
as
down.
well.
Because he probably looked and he was
Yusuf
freaking out.
Nurkic has come down
So go
and
look
has
at him and calm
twisted
down.
that
So listen,
left
don't look
leg.
at it. Be a good person.
It's rough.
These
That
guys all ran away like they were gonna catch something. Like,
well, what if
It's
it
always
is?
like that,
What
though.
if you can catch it? Just some.
you can
bad-
catch a broken leg.
Yeah.
You touch it.
Some bad juju, man.
Fuck, it's so stupid. Oh my god, my dick is broken.
Next topic: big baller brand, more like big broke brand.
Oh, big time. I love it though. I love the fact that I don't like that he failed. I like that Lonzo was the spearheaded this, and I like that he's like, we gotta cut fucking costs, man. Just get rid of this shit,
I know,
and then
it's
get
just-
3 terrible tattoos to cover it. Did you see that?
No, I didn't see
He
that.
covered the big baller brand on his arm with 3 like dice,
Oh, that's awesome.
but they're so fucking deformed.
Oh, because they're bees.
No, but make 3 big die.
Or just like right like downwards, like big bad bitch.
It's fucking disgusting.
Honestly, I'm kind of disappointed they failed. I like the circus that LeVar Ball causes.
Well, some of their shoes are good. I think I put the link there. Some of their shoes are.
Well,
really
just
nice.
as a business, they were falling because it's hard to own a shoe company. By the way, the
Oh.
manufacturing, the delays, the keeping up with demand. Like when you go up against Nike,
especially
when you go up.
if you have no experience in the shit.
Yeah, but like the thing is, Nike owns China. They when they come into those warehouses and they say you got to house our stuff, they go into these manufacturing plants. You got to manufacture now. Nike will take precedence because they're going to drop this giant contract.
Now,
for
why
a
are you
startup.
saying Nike? You 90 or
No, honestly, so that's an old image of Nike, but it's out all of them basically. Look, they're all made
Nike.
overseas.
Nike?
Oh, Nike, whatever, man. I've always called them Nike.
All right.
Phonetic,
But it's Nike.
So one last thing,
It's actually Greek.
I don't understand why people wanted it to
It
fail.
means
Like
victory.
it's a guy trying to start up a shoe company
No,
with
it's
his
good.
kids.
Yeah, I'm happy.
It sucks that it didn't work out.
It sucks it didn't work out, but I'm happy that Lonzo Ball, like I said, steer-headed this.
Yeah.
And he
Big steer.
he
Big
said,
old
"Fuck
steer.
this shit," and he's like, "Let's get out of here. I got to concentrate on my own stuff." I'm happy for him.
Look, he just dropped it on the table. He dropped like an Alex Rodriguez steer right on the table.
But it's the first time I actually went on the site to see the shoes, and some of them are actually really nice.
maybe had you gone
I
earlier, they wouldn't be going bankrupt every
Would
time.
never buy a pair, but yeah, some of them.
Just
Nice.
$500.
They're $500. I didn't see the price actually. Yeah, see, that's what I mean.
Close to 500 Canadian,
You might as well have gone cheap, sold them at Payless
which is also bankrupt. So
or Yellow.
what's yellow? Is that still exist?
It's like another version of Payless.
yeah, I don't know.
Or Globo,
I wouldn't buy shoes there.
or like Nordstrom Rack.
But listen, you say that because
Yeah.
you want to know why you say that. You want to know why you say that?
Fuck, I should be the CEO of Big Baller.
You're not a big baller. So that's why.
I'm not a big baller.
Next topic:
Far from it.
Boogieless Nights. Cam Newton channeling his best Colton from The Bachelor, staying a virgin for 30 days to try and get his
can't-
wins up.
You can't stay a virgin if you lost
Well,
it already.
He's not
Born
gonna
again
bang.
virgin, bro.
Okay, so
It's 2019.
when I used to play football, our coach used to tell us the night the practice before the game, he'd always say, "Guys," like he would break down, and then the last thing he would say was, "Leave it alone for the night." You know, like don't fucking jerk off, because there's a theory that your legs get heavier and yada yada yada, all this shit. But it's actually good for you to get rid of some of that juice because your body produces more testosterone that way.
And not to mention racehorses. There's a guy whose job it is
To jerk off horses?
To jerk off the horse, to nut the horse. Horse nutter, I believe, is what the job is called. And it pays well. It pays like $75-$80 an hour because you have to nut a
How do
horse.
you know how much it pays?
Listen, man.
You're saying Nike. You're saying Nike wrong. You're all over the place today.
Yeah, I'm all over those horse nuts. No, but the reason why they do it is so the horses run faster. So I mean, it's sort of counterintuitive. That said, you believe Cam Newton? He's gonna do that?
No.
Also, you think his wife signed off on it, or she find
he
out like
married?
everybody else? Like motherfucker.
Is he married?
I
don't think he's married.
I thought he was.
I don't think he's married. But either
I don't
way,
think he is.
Eagle, find
He
out.
is, yeah.
What do you mean you don't think? Your job is to know. We think you know.
No, we don't think. There's nothing thinking going on. There's nothing.
We pretend to think you know.
No, I mean,
Or like his girl or whatever, like looking at
He's just-
Twitter, like, what?
I think
no.
I think he's just trying anything.
Longtime girlfriend Kia Proctor.
Yeah, Kia Proctor's saying
So
Cam.
maybe sex he meant vaginally doesn't mean anal and blowies are out of the fucking
Fair.
off the market.
Or like, he didn't say it was like a no nut month, right? He didn't say like I'm not gonna jerk in the shower.
What did he say? He said no sex.
No sex.
But it's self sex.
But what's Can he jerk off? I think that's what he meant more than anything.
Or is he doing that
Why am I
tantric
getting
stuff?
Uber Eats notifications?
Because you're hungry?
Thanks for ordering. That was like 4 days ago.
Next topic: Thanksgiving with a vengeance. Stephen A. Smith has managed to antagonize another species, where a turkey flew into his window building at work.
Fuck anybody, man.
And the thing
Everybody's
for me,
going after this guy.
the thing for me that was most amazing is Stephen A. Smith was not in there because he's so overworked. He's obviously not in his office. Why does he even have an office? He's off camera for 4 minutes a day.
It's a very good
You
point.
know, like,
He's got to go somewhere to not to do research.
have you ever seen a turkey vulture up close?
What is that, a turkey vulture?
It's a giant bird. We were on a fishing trip and left too much stuff outside, too much live organic
How big are we
material.
talking here?
They're like 10, 12 pounds.
And they fly?
Yeah, well, poorly. They're giant. They have giant wingspans.
So this thing went through his L.A. window
I know it was Bristol.
on Connecticut.
Yeah, he's got offices everywhere because he's Stephen A. Smith.
So there's nothing to do in Connecticut, huh?
What?
There's nothing to do in Connecticut.
Well, you can hunt a turkey vulture.
Turkey vultures. It's become the world renowned for turkey vulture hunting.
For rapid fire eagle,
No, there's one more.
No, we got one more.
give me.
This is Gronk speed. So Rob Gronkowski retires. 3 Super Bowls. He's only 29 years old. The body of an 80-year-old. 521 catches, 7,861 yards, 79 touchdowns. And I heard
I would've
that
said
if you
double
actually look at his touchdown per game ratio, it actually ends up at 0.69 touchdowns per game, which is classic Gronkowski.
Classic Gronkowski. So the thing about Gronk is that he's managed to stay on a team that you would never think he fit on.
Yeah.
So
He's
his
just so
character,
talented.
but yeah, he's such a like a happy-go-lucky, fun-loving guy that he knows he puts his work in from the beginning of the game to the end. He doesn't have to check his phone.
That said, there's no way he's not checking it to swipe right constantly.
Oh, 100%.
The thing with Gronk, the most impressive stat I heard this week was he had 11 yards per target. Not catch. That means even on incompletions, he's getting first downs. That's insane. That's insane.
So Gronk is he the GOAT tight end?
I believe so.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: I think he's going to be reborn in a secondary source of employment, in a second life, second career.
Yeah.
This ties into Conor McGregor.
Or wrestling.
No, I think we need to see action movie stars. Conor McGregor. Like imagine
And Gronk.
Steven Seagal and Gronk team up and as a buddy cop duo that need to stop the evil Irish
Mac and Gronky
warlord
Kong.
Conor McGregor.
Mystic Mac and Gronky Kong.
Is this basically Jump Street, but featuring Rob Gronkowski and Conor McGregor?
Yeah.
Yeah, but we call it
69 Jump Street.
Yeah, exactly. 60.
And it's at an adult video store, the adult film store. That's where they.
So what you're saying is he becomes
house
a
it.
porn action star.
Yeah, pretty much. And he just bangs everything.
Maybe he follows the footsteps of Jason Witten and starts doing commentary.
No, I don't think he wants to do that. I don't think his brain works that way.
He once called Tom Brady a hell of a specimen.
Specimen.
Specimen. was the
He's
word
got
he
a
used.
bunch of sound bites. This guy, man, I love
That's
that
amazing.
guy. I love
That's
him. I love him. He's
Maybe he
my
follows
spirit
in the
animal.
footsteps of Gonzalez and kills someone.
Tony Gonzalez?
No,
Oh, Aaron Gonzalez.
No, Hernandez.
Aaron Hernandez. Yeah, yeah.
So
Why are we?
Tony Gonzalez killed 0 people.
Let's not make rumors.
And with that, we're done with rapid fire.
Jesus, man. You made a random guy a murderer.
You made the best tight end, arguably the best tight end of all time, a murderer, and then
and asked him the second
I was
best.
thinking the other tight end who did murder.
and assumed that the second best tight end would murder.
The only way it could have worse, you've been like Aaron Hernandez. Now that's a good guy.
They both
He
ended
gets
in
a bad
S. You can excuse my mistake.
No.
This is why Duke's on the show.
Yeah, fuck Duke.
Again, working overtime because we're missing Duke. So last segment, we're gonna do this thing. Last segment's the equivalent of me just yelling transition. By the way, last segment is we're gonna get into tomorrow's headlines today. We're gonna talk about what we predict. That's good imaging right there. That's some. We finally got some return on investment. We're gonna talk about what we think is gonna happen in the tournament. We're gonna list them as headlines that we will read after the week that's coming ahead of us. Week of games and the Sweet 16 and Elite 8. So, Terry, you got any to start things off?
Yeah, so I wrote a few down here. I got Duke loses to Virginia Tech.
Ooh.
Zion goes under 15 points.
Under 15 points.
Yeah. So we're gonna write this down. What is that?
It's the effect of you reading into the future.
Oh, okay. You or me? You?
Virginia lose after scoring only 46 points in the Elite Eight because you can't keep playing that style.
46 points.
46 points. That's all they're going to score. You can't keep playing that ball control style. Eventually, you're going to need to have to make plays. It's not going to happen.
In my bracket, I chose the final game. I wanted to put 180 points, 189 points as the final game because I knew everybody was going to be like 150, 160. I wanted to get the closest one, right? I forgot the one, so I have it as... I'm like, who the hell's idiot that put 89 total points for the final?
This is
That
the
was
guy.
me,
This
yeah.
is the guy.
So all number 1 seeds will be eliminated by the Final Four. So there will be no number 1 seeds in the Final Four.
How do you think it's going to happen?
UNC would get bounced in the Elite Eight, which would be next round. And then I think that Virginia is going to lose to Oregon. Gonzaga would win this round against, I forgot who they're playing, and then would lose the next round to, I can't figure out that bracket, but yeah. That's what I see what's going to happen.
All right. I got MJ Walker has a monster second half, and Georgia Fall to FSU. Can't be contained. He's going to just 4 straight 3-pointers, knock him down, can't be stopped. MJ Walker, he slays the dragon that is
Slays the
Gonzaga.
dragon. Good, I like it.
Gone dragon.
That's very.
That's how the number 1 seed falls.
That's it. That's a very plausible. Auburn and NC go to quadruple overtime.
Quadruple.
Quadruple overtime, and Auburn wins on the last shot of the game.
Last shot of the game. So risking quintuple overtime.
Yeah.
All of us just wanted to end the goddamn
They're
game.
down by 1. Down by 2 maybe. Take a 3. Boom.
Make the
Nail
shot. Make the shot. Let's see. Houston had no chance against Kentucky.
Zero.
That's what it says. That's what it's going to read. Houston all season long had no 3-point shooter with more than 40% or higher 3-point percentage. That's going to catch up to them. At some point in this tournament, you're going to need to have to play from behind. They're not going to be able to do it against Kentucky.
I like it. Cassius Winston of Michigan State is going to score 35-plus points in his next game. And be the highest scoring player of the week.
You added more to it.
And Eagle, shut the fuck up.
Mark Few loses keys, doesn't attend the game, can't get to the Elite Eight game.
It's too much.
Yeah, that's too far.
Can't go to the game. There's an Uber.
I didn't have a 4th one. I thought I did, and that's what I got. You got any
I have
more?
Another one, yeah.
Go for it,
Oregon becomes the lowest seed ever to make the Final Four.
Ooh.
They're 12th. The other lowest seed was 11.
Who are they beating in the Elite Eight for you?
Well, I don't know what their bracket looks like. I'll pull it up.
I mean,
That's what it's there for.
Oregon's just got a tough role. I think they have to go through Duke eventually.
No, Oregon's on.
No, making it
what,
up.
to get to the Final Four? I think
Yeah.
you're right, yeah. I think you're absolutely right.
No,
Let's
I'm
see
wrong.
right here. Terry Tam. 20th place. Okay, here it is.
No, they have to go.
Oregon
Virginia's the number 1
is
seed.
gonna
in
beat
the-
Virginia.
It could be though. That could be the team that beats Virginia because Virginia scored 46 points.
Oregon's going to be Virginia. Then they would have to go through Kentucky or North Carolina. So they would have to. No, that would be their matchup in the Final Four. They would beat Virginia. Then they would have to be either Tennessee or Purdue, which is very doable, I thought.
Very doable just beating Virginia. Well, again, scoring 46 points, not going to get you anywhere.
Nope, never.
That's been the show. Thank you, Terry. You've been great. This has been fun. Remember, again, tomorrow we're coming out with that interview with Carlin Gay of NBA.com. We're going to switch gears, talk a little college basketball before we get into the NBA. And, of course, the usual brand of nonsense because your brand is Terry Tam, my brand is Peeze and Terry. That's the Eagle, and this has been Hot Sauce Sports. You've been listening to Hot Sauce Sports.